so I previously took some issue with Yellowstone because of all the closures and all the crowds, but I think Yellowstone has redeemed itself.
This is just so
This is really cool. Hello.
Hello.
Today is August 14th, and we are hiking in Yellowstone. So, the day started a bit rough, I guess. Jillian went to drop off Marley at kennel for daycare this morning, had some breakfast, and headed toward Yellowstone from our campground in the Grand Tetons. We expected that it would take about an hour and a half, I think. That was our estimate based on previous experience and the distance that we're traveling.
But we did not Google Map.
And it ended up taking about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say about 2.5.
Almost 2.5 hours. So we got started a bit later than we would have liked. Oh, and by the way, the reason that it took longer than we had expected is traffic in Yellowstone. We got a bit of a late start, and then when we arrived at our trailhead, it turned out to be
Mobbed.
Yeah.
Completely mobbed.
I would guess, based on very little experience, that it was the second busiest area of Yellowstone, with the number one busiest being Old Faithful.
Yeah.
So we had to park on the street a little bit away from the trailhead.
Okay.
It is a trail that leads to...
Prismatic light.
One more time. It is a trail that leads to...
Prismatic geyser overlook, which you can do. You can drive up to Prismatic geyser and do a boardwalk, walk around it, or you can do what we did and to hike up Fairy Falls Trail, and there's an overlook over the whole area, which is absolutely beautiful. Just every color you can think of. You know, the very middle of the geyser is bright blue, and then it fades out to sky blue, and then the whole rim around the geyser is this just vibrant red and yellow and white. It's prismatic.
So it is a very cool view and a very cool geyser. You then have about another mile or so to get to
Fairy Falls.
It's like a hole in the earth, and there's a waterfall from the top of it coming down. It's a very cool waterfall.
It's very thin,
It is, but it's pretty tall too.
but incredibly tall.
In retrospect, we should have probably brought our swimsuits. So we did the trail to the waterfall, and then after the waterfall, Jillian saw that if you continue on the same trail, you eventually arrive at another geyser. The second one is very active, and it's a larger pool. It's probably my favorite geyser that we've seen so far. It has a pool of very blue water, and then water that shoots up, I don't know, a good 10, 20 feet
Oh yeah.
when it really bubbles.
Yep. And then there's also around it, there's all the bubbling mud pots as well, which I'd never seen before, and I thought it was really cool.
So that was quite nice. Next to the geyser, there's also a small trail that leads up to the top of a hill that we hiked up to and had a spectacular view of the valley below.
Yep.
Kind of a 360-degree view of this small area of Yellowstone. So that was pretty cool.
I love the fact that you could actually see the Prismatic geyser from the hilltop. Looks like we're coming on another geyser.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. So we came down from the hill and then continued our loop. Our plan is to hike about, 8 miles, 9 miles today?
Something like that, yeah.
8 or 9 relatively easy miles around Yellowstone. And the wonderful thing is that ever since we left the waterfall, we've hardly run into anyone. We're in a wide open area. There's 3 at least geysers around us.
So I think the one way over there is Fairy Spring.
The one out of the distance?
Yeah. But the other ones are not even on Gaia. So I don't know.
Very cool.
I'm not sure.
So here's the unofficially named Bean Geyser, mostly because it looks like a bean or a kidney, to me, at least, the shape. I don't know how close we can... Oh, actually, we can get pretty close to this one. What'd they give you?
So they just gave me a little piece of paper that was pre-stamped that I can then tape into my book.
All right. It's not the worst.
It's better than Wind Cave, which didn't have anything. So it works. After leaving Yellowstone, we took a slight detour to stay at an alpaca farm outside of Bozeman, Montana. We set up our trailer inside one of the grazing yards, so the alpacas were grazing around our trailer the entire time we were there. We were then treated to a tour/meet and greet with the alpacas by the farm owner, Nathaniel.
Is this mama and
Could be.
baby? Oh,
Well, if she tries to just, drink some milk and mom sniffs her and says, "You're not mine," she'll spit out and tell her to move on, find the next mom.
So
They
don't
listen
even
to each
know.
other's hum and they smell each other's rump.
All right.
If you look at the ones I've reassured, you know, so I left the rump alone.
Yep.
How do you like the pacas?
They're so awesome. They're so friendly. They just want to like come up and eat out of your hand. And
They are really friendly, I have to say.
they're very.
They are not living up to their reputation.
Their reputation is fun. I think I met one angry paca once, and that was that. Hello, good morning, pacas. I need you to scooch out of the way, if that's okay. We are going to be leaving in just a moment. As you see, our trailer is right there. Sebastian's in it, all ready to go. And you are in front of the gate. And, you know, we just don't want to hit you. You know, paca crossing and all.